Well, this is something new. This is something different. This is something exciting. Welcome, everyone. I know that we've got a little bit of a glitch going on with the YouTube channel because as I learned this lesson a while ago and seemed to have forgotten it, and now I'm recalling it, that when we use this software to go live on YouTube, it sets up its own stream every time you click go. And I had set up a manual stream, and there was a whole bunch of people in there in the chat room. And when I clicked go live, it set up another stream and everybody was left abandoned in the other one. So I apologize in advance for that. But Britt, this is something that that shouldn't surprise anyone. I mean, this is we're going to have hit these stumbles, and I don't hear you, so I don't know what you're doing.
It's because I actually put my mic on mute while I was fumbling with stuff, and I just forgot to turn it back on. For those that are new to the paranormal world, to watching, look, I'm an amateur. JV is a professional. So I'm going to screw stuff up. I often refer to JV as the adult in the room, and I am the child. So just get used to that because I'm going to screw stuff up left and right, and JV is going to pull his hair out. It'll probably go grayer as you watch because that tends to be what happens when we do shows together. He gets frustrated, but yet he keeps asking me back, so I don't understand. I think he likes punishment.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. I like punishment. I will go grayer as this goes along. But one of the things that, because we've done enough shows together, this is like our fourth, third, fifth version of a show that we've been doing. This one is got some special meaning, though, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But because we've done so many, Britt, I know exactly what to expect. I know words are your second language. I know technology is your foil. I know that every time we get ready to go live, there's going to be a new computer glitch that didn't exist the night before. So I'm fully prepared for all this stuff. And by the way, we are vamping a little bit because I want to give people a chance to find... Hang on. What happened? We're
not even on?
Are
we not even live?
We are on, but
we need a producer?
We do need a producer. I'm a little flummoxed here because everything is, we're starting for the first time here, so things are a little bit wonky. That's the second time I've used that word tonight, Britt, and I never use that word.
Wonky.
I've used the word wonky.
No, I don't know what's going on.
Twice now. Anyway, I apologize.
I don't understand why.
Well, let me explain what's going on here. So let me rewind just a little bit. Yeah, Steph, you're confused. Rewind. We're confused. Wonky. Hi, Mary Grace. Hi, Gene. All right, so I had forgotten then when you launch a YouTube live stream from the software we use, the way we're doing it, that it sets up it creates a brand new stream when you click that go live button. So I had previously set up a scheduled broadcast, and we had a whole bunch of people in there waiting for the show to start. And then I hit go live, and of course it set up the separate thing. So, but when it did it, somehow it set it up as private. And that's, I'm not really sure why that's happening. But anyway, we are underway here. I want to talk a little bit about why we're doing what we're doing. I know. I'm looking at this.
You sound like me.
I'm looking at this screen. And I'm saying there are things that are on here that shouldn't be, and I don't understand why. Why does it say booze, brews, and bros on this thing? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But fear not, folks, because we are going to have a fantastic show for you. In fact, we're going to be talking with a numerologist. In fact, he's an AstroNumerologist. His name is Jesse Kalsi, and we'll be talking with him not just about numerology in general, but he's actually read the numbers of Vladimir Putin, Volodymyr Zelensky from Ukraine, this whole situation that's going on in Eastern Europe right now. He's got some insight due to his work in numerology, and we're going to get into that in a minute. I'm kind of at a loss of words here because people are filing into the chat room and they're saying things that I want to respond to, but I can't at the moment. Hello, everybody. I just hope this says private on my screen here. That isn't preventing anybody from getting into the chat room. I don't think it is because there's a lot of people in there now. So I think we're okay here. Anyway. So as most of you know, the paranormal program, formerly Beyond Reality Paranormal, the show I'd been doing for 6 years, we took a little bit of a hiatus. And Britt and I had been approached by a development company to try to develop a new concept as it relates to the paranormal and the discussions that we'll have. And we said, sure, we'll give this a try. So we kind of put a pause button on the other show we were doing, and we are returning to the paranormal discussions, which, as most people know, are where our roots are. Britt, having spent how many seasons of Ghost Hunters were you on? How many was that?
4 through 9-ish, 10,
so
9
like
or 10.
5 or 6 seasons.
I just know it was 10 years of my life.
Yeah.
It was a lot of time on the road.
Yeah, Ghost Hunters International. And I, of course, as publisher of TAP's Para Magazine, which is the Ghost Hunters official magazine, and also being involved in the events and the show a little bit as well. Our paranormal roots are very, very deep. And it's something that we really enjoy talking about. So when we took this break from it, it was a good opportunity for us to get recharged and start to look at this from a fresh perspective. And that's why tonight is actually the relaunch of this program, and we're excited about it. And we're so very excited to see so many people filing in for it as well. It's going to be a little different than Beyond Reality has been in the past. It has. We're going to be continuing to do very interesting interviews. That's going to be part of the show, no question about it. There are a lot of really interesting people in this field, and we like talking about it. I wish you were looking at the camera and I felt like I was talking to you or something.
I'm sorry.
What's happening?
Because YouTube crashed on me, all my links went bad, so I got to repost to everybody so they know to come watch us.
Okay. All right. So we're going to still continue.
I'm promoting.
We're going to continue to be doing the interviews. We also, some of these interviews may take a non-paranormal direction if we feel it's appropriate. I mean, the people that we talk to are very interesting for a couple of reasons. One is the work they do in the paranormal generally, but the other thing is that they're just really interesting people. And when we were doing when I was doing Beyond Reality, very rarely would we veer off of the paranormal discussion. And in some cases, that's a shame because the people we were talking to had far more interesting lives and complex lives than we gave them credit for or had a chance to talk about during those discussions. So this will veer away from paranormal topics when appropriate. The other thing we're going to be doing here on this version of the show, and Britt and I are really excited about that, is we're going to be going out into the field. We're going to be doing live investigations, whether it's ghost hunting investigations, Bigfoot. I don't like using the word Bigfoot hunt, but you know what I mean. Going out and looking for Bigfoot, or UFOs.
Looking for Bigfoot.
Yeah, UFO, going to UFO landing sites that people have reported and doing some investigations there. And we'll be doing these as much as we can live to you. So people actually watching the program and in our chat rooms can actually help direct the investigation. That is something that I think is pretty cool, pretty unique, and it's something we're excited to try and practice, Britt. And I mean, you and I, before the show, we're already chomping at the bit to start scheduling some of these and getting out there and doing them.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's cool, so the technology that we use today and I should probably move my camera back over here.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm doing lots of different stuff over here right now, and I have had way too much caffeine. What's cool when JV and I were talking about it earlier, and I'm super excited about it because I am an equipment tech geek. Like literally, I love the gadgets. As if you watch me on Ghost Hunters, I was the one who put 79 individual pieces of equipment out and called it a ghost net. I would do that on the regular. So we were talking about how do we bring you, the viewers, into what we're doing and have fun and not something that's not so polished or corporate or networky or whatever. And I'm like, dude, this software that we use to do this show, we would have killed to have this on Ghost Hunters. Because I can take my laptop and my phone with 5G, and we can, as long as we have good 5G signal or access to the internet, we can go anywhere and do this. And we can do a live ghost hunt where you guys can watch. And in chat, you can tell whoever we have, crew member, somebody, producer watching and, putting up camera shots. They can watch chat, and they can relay to us, hey, say we missed the closet door. And chat's like, hey, the closet door, go to the closet door. They can tell us and we'll go to the closet door. If there's a question you want asked, they can relay to us, hey, the audience, the viewers are asking, ask this question. And we can ask it. So it could be really hands-on at a level that could never be done before with a network show, that we'll be able to do it. Same thing if we go on a Bigfoot investigation, looking for a Bigfoot. We'll because I can take this phone. Oop, you can't even see the phone. There we go. I can take this phone and dial in to the software we use, like I'm doing now, which JV is then correlating into the screens you're seeing and then shooting it out to you guys to watch. We can do that. So we could be out looking for Bigfoot, dialed back to the van, a real tech van, not a show tech van, and then blast it out live to you guys. And all we need is a phone connection, a basic phone connection. LGT level would work. And then you guys are a part of it. LGT, is that right?
LTE.
LTE.
Yeah.
LTE. Yeah. Words are my second language. Just because I'm not on the political show, I still don't know words. So this is something that could be a lot of fun. But it's going to be a lot more work for JV and I. It's going to involve a lot more producing, which we don't have producers because, we have no money. But that's okay. I love doing this research and producing. And, we're going to try and have some fun and bring you guys along with us as best we can. And look for the paranormal. More than ghosts. Paranormal, UFOs, Bigfoot, Loch Ness. I would love to go over and try and find Nessie. And then it might even stray into, where's Jimmy Hoffa buried? Or, who are some of the other? Is Elvis really dead?
Yeah, we'll definitely get into some conspiracy things. Also, some true crime stuff. I mean, there's so many categories that we're both so very interested in, and we're going to cover them all. But let's get on track here for tonight, because our guest has been waiting very, very patiently. Tonight we're going to be talking with Jesse.
Okay, I didn't know. I'm sorry.
Jesse Kalsi. He is a world-renowned numerologist that specializes in astronumerology and its impact on residential and business numerology, providing valuable insight on the power of numbers and how they affect our lives. In his books, The Power of Home Numbers and All About Numbers, he combines his Eastern upbringing with his Western experience to bring awareness and understanding of this phenomena. So we're really excited to have Jesse here. Jesse, sorry about the long-winded intro, but thank you for being here. I hope everything's working. We didn't get a chance to test the tech out ahead of time, but I know I can see you, so that's a good start. I can't hear you, though.
No volume.
Can't hear you. So we'll have to take a second and figure that out. There you go. Now we got you.
Okay, excellent. Yeah.
Anyway, welcome to the program. Great to have you here.
Great, thank you. Great to be here.
So I want to start out by talking a little bit about this concept of numerology before we get into astronumerology specifically. Some people don't even know what this is. They hear numerology, they know it has something to do with numbers, but beyond that, they're not really sure what it means.
Exactly. So numerology, like we all know, is the science of numbers. That's basic numerology, and basic numerology goes from number 1 to number 9, which is very traditional, and then people interpret it very differently. And the Chinese have a way of looking at it. The Hebrews, the Greeks, the East Indians. There's a system here in the Americas as well. But what I practice is the Vedic tradition, which is called astronumerology, and what that is that associates numbers and planetary energies. So that's how it goes. So, for example, number 1 has the energy of Sun, or 9 is Mars, or 5 is Mercury, or 6 is Venus. So they are planetary energies that are kind of in play, and so that's the method I use, and I use the Chaldean code, which is again very traditional East Indian. So that's how we see what happens to JV is it's not about adding numbers. It's more complicated than that. Now, say for example, I consult with you, or you consult with me, and then I say, hey, your best number is a number 6. And then you say, oh, I'm looking for a house, and I found this number 4848, and Jesse told me number 6 is a good number for me, and 4848 is 1224. It's a 6. Oh, I got it. No. See, that would be a very wrong choice because Uranus, 4 is Uranus, 8 is Saturn. When these energies come together, right, they'll kind of spring you down, scuttle you down. It was like that famous, if you remember Solyndra, right? Solyndra was one company that was initiated by the White House, right here in the city. Yep. I live in Fremont. Same principle, 4 and 8, right? Though they had the best business people, the White House behind them, it's still scuttled because they had that 4 and 8 energy in the name and the complex that they were in. So that's how that's how that goes. And then say, or you say, hey Jesse, I found this one number and it is a 501, right? Oh, that's the 6th. Yes, it is a 6, but then when 5 precedes sun, that's not good either. You see? So you have to be very specific to those numbers because those are planetary energies. And once we find the right vibrations, they're magical. They'll work for a long time and they'll bring you a lot of success. Over the years, I've done this for a period of time now. And I've seen that there are a lot of people that live in smaller homes and they're very successful, happy, things are flowing. And suddenly they feel, hey, my lifestyle should change now. I make so much money. I need a bigger house, right? And that bigger house always goes downwards. I've seen that all the time. Well, most of the cases that happens, right? Why? Because it's the wrong energy, and it happens all the time. People get into wrong homes, struggle. They don't realize, and so that's to give you an idea.
So, but you gave some examples of how certain numbers can generate the wrong energy for people. Does everybody experience the same results, or is there something unique to each one of us that the numbers will mean something different to each one of us based on something innate to us? Maybe our birthdays, maybe, I don't know, maybe our geography. I don't know what other factors could be involved.
Yes, you're absolutely right. So the basic, the basic requirement is our date of birth, right? So let me give my own example. I'm born on April the 3rd of some year, right? I'm in Aries, and my best numbers are number 3 and number 9, which is Jupiter and Mars energy. So what I have done is I have basically fine-tuned my life to my numbers only, right? So if you have a copy of my book, they're all about numbers. If you add those numbers as per Cali and Co, right, they add up to a 54, which is a 9. So if you go to Jesse Kalsi also has the energy of my number, which is a 27, which is a 9. If you see, I kind of wear this kind of color all the time, which is Mars energy. That is also my frequency. I live in a house number which has my numbers, right? So the thought is that we look at our basic energies, and from there, we pick our best numbers and we fine-tune or harmonize the energies around us. Our name, our residence, our cars, the colors, our business names, and our relationship with a partner, and a lot of stuff, right? So it's all about harmonizing. So this, I wouldn't call this predictive. I'd call this more solution-based harmonizing energy. And once it balances, things just shift and move very smoothly.
Do you make conscious decisions, whether they're large decisions or small decisions, based on the numerology? Or is it just that you find yourself in situations and when they're comfortable, the numbers are right? Which it's kind of a chicken and egg question.
Yeah, that's a good question. So what happens is no one is lucky every day. Even if I know my numbers are 3s and 9s, right? That doesn't mean I'm lucky every day, right? Because how it is, there's certain periods in a year, certain months in a year that'll work for you. They are a higher vibe, right? And then the other years or other months, despite your best numbers, will still not work for you, right? So that is important to understand. And so that's the answer for what you asked me. And
the numbers always confuse me because I've talked to other numerologists, and you've kind of pointed it out here as well. But there's a reduction that goes on, right? You take bigger numbers and you reduce them down to one of the primary. I don't know if they're called primary numbers, but 0 through 9, 1 through 9, whatever it is, right? You reduce it down to that, and that's what you end up reading in some fashion. Am I right about that?
No. Yeah, numerologists do that, that what you've just said, but, I have a different technique. Right? So say, for example, if you give me your day and month, I don't need the year. Just give me the day and month you're born, and we'll look at your best numbers, okay. And I'll get up like that.
Yeah, mine is June 25th.
Okay, so June 25th. So we got 5, and then so you got 2, 7. So very, very intuitive, excellent intuition. You got moon, and so your numbers are the number 2s and number 7s are always very good for you. Your intuition is really good. You should always go. You should never second guess yourself, because if you do, you'll be wrong. Right? The element of water, anything close to water, work close to water, place, home, water. That element is really good for you, and so and you should avoid dark colors like the color black or
I should avoid
red,
I should avoid dark colors. Is that what you said?
I'm in like a black car. I'd say, don't drive. I'm just telling you based on the energy. I mean, a black shirt, you look very handsome.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you. Nice save.
Energy. Yeah. The energy,
So let me ask you this. Okay. So based on what you just said, I should avoid dark colors. Let's say I start wearing, I don't know, light blue shirts, something else. 'Cause I usually wear a black V-neck. It's kind of my thing. Let's say I start wearing light blue V-necks or lighter colored, white even. How would you expect that to change my life or my day?
Yeah. See, what happens is that that color of white has the color of moon. It's moon energy. And moon works really well with you, right? The energy of Neptune is kind of off-white, a little bit of yellow. That's very good for you. Now, black, why I said is because the color black is represented by the energy of planet Saturn. And Saturn, number 8, contradicts your date of birth. You see, it kind of challenges you like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Try those colors one time and see how you feel some lighter colors.
I'm going to.
And then, for yourself. And if your popular name I just was JV, right? Now, JV as per Vedic is exactly a number 7 right there.
Oh, wow.
Right? So this name JV, is perfectly in sync with your date of birth. Now, how you got it, I don't know. But now, see, that I don't know. But that just is the right one.
Britt, what is your month and day of birth? Let's get your numbers here.
Yeah, give me the day.
Okay, number one, I want to see you, JV, in a salmon-collared V-neck on the next show, okay? Salmon-collared. I am May 28th, 1969, if you need the year.
No, I don't. Yes, okay. May 28th. So we go May 20. Oh, exactly the same. Same thing, Moon and Neptune. So are you, what are you, brothers, or you work together? Or?
No, we're actually on opposite coasts, and we prefer it that way.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly the same numbers. Moon and Neptune, very intuitive. Just like you're on the same level. I don't know how. This is kind of very interesting. So how did you pick each other? Just like that?
We've been working together on and off for about 15 years. Kind of an accidental meeting just based on projects we were working on, and we've been working together ever since on various projects.
Yeah,
various things, and then this radio thing took off a couple years ago, and we've been it seems like at least several times a week we see each other via the camera because I'm in LA, he's in New York, so
this is rare, right? Yeah, this is rare. Now, business partnership, is kind of it's not. As good as you guys, the numbers just matching by itself is godsend, right? But it's just very magical, and this business of. Like we're talking inside and intuition and and you were talking about ghost busting and a whole bunch of stuff. I think you'll collectively be very, very successful. Yeah. So looking at your name, Britt, here,
JV,
2, 4, 5, and 8.
He said we're magical.
Jesse, I just want to make something very clear. Having the same numbers and connecting that way does not mean we have the same IQ, right? That doesn't necessarily mean it's the same IQ.
Okay, now, so he has, Britt here has a lot of sun energy, right? And Britt has a lot of sun energy, and Britt, and that sun complements the Neptune that you have. So, it flows really well. Now, Britt uses more, he won't go with his heart, he'll use his head more, and, that's how he makes it.
I love this guy.
Yeah, so if you are emotional, he won't be emotional. He'll use this, but you use this. So be careful when he talks to you.
I love that.
Jesse, you have no idea how much I drive JV nuts. I am a Gemini. I am a true Gemini. I am like, just all over the place. And when I'm like on too much caffeine, I'm out of, like right now I'm a little hyped up because I'm super excited to have this interview with you because I'm like a third grader when it comes to understanding numbers, but I enjoy the hell out of watching you guys do your thing. But I drive JV nuts, but he keeps coming back for more, so that's a good sign, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great partnership. It's a great, intuitive business partnership. It's very successful. It's it can get bigger and bigger, right? There's no limit to this one. I can tell you.
Jesse, have you seen this? I mean, before you go too far with it being a great partnership, have you seen this caricature of Britt? He looks like he could be my pudgy Italian uncle here. So if anything, he's good. He gives me a good laugh now and then.
Very interesting.
I actually have. Okay, so Jesse, when it comes to understanding what you do and how you do it, I'm a third grader. So talk to me like I'm a third grader. Why do the. So I watched about 9 of your interviews and your videos today. I went through almost all of them on your YouTube channel trying to understand you. And I on the very basic level, why do the numbers affect me or affect you? Or why do the numbers affect us? What is the energy that the number is representing that? Because it's funny when I watch you go through your thing, and when you first start off, I'm like, I don't understand. And then at the end, it's like, oh my God, it all makes sense. Why do the numbers affect us the way they do? Where's that energy coming from?
So you see, numbers are alive, right? There's all the planetary energy. You see, numbers, they have a planetary vibe to it. Now, see, it's very interesting. If you look at your name, Britt here, see, Britt 5813, right? So, see, a number like this, a 13 on the first name is not an easy number to handle, but you have a lot of sun energy on your date of birth. So what happens is, Sun and Uranus, they complement each other, right? And that is the reason why this name Britt becomes magical for you. Now, can I have this name Britt with my numbers? No, I cannot. They'll just throw me off completely, right? And can JB? Yeah, JB can, but 13 with a number 1 is a perfect sync, right? Now, yes, there's some things, I'm on planet Earth and whatever I've learned with my life experience, right? Reading numbers, but then there are bigger forces there too. I'm sure their guides are huge, and they came in to give you the right names in. And just like JB said earlier, if things are just moving fine, it means that our numbers are good, which we can say in a way, yes. If things are doing well, I'm sure everything is in sync, right? And things are, and the numbers are right. So that, of course, the answer to that would be yes. But strong numbers, though. Strong numbers. But there's one thing, Britt, your relationships, you be real cautious with your relationships, Some personal relationships sometimes, can come into...
I've been told that before.
Yeah, just watch that. Be careful. Yeah. That one kind of jumps out. Yeah.
Okay, so now from listening to your instructional, people should go to Jesse's YouTube channel, because he's got all kinds of videos that go back like 13, 14 years. It's crazy how long you've been doing this. But I noticed there was a theme too with somehow callers worked into there, but they a person's caller in their home tied back to a planet caller, which then tied back to a number. Am I getting that right? Kind of everything is all tied together somehow.
And let me just help translate that. When Britt says collar, he means color.
Thank you.
He means color.
Oh, color.
He says collar. It's true. He does.
Okay, color. Okay, yes. So like I said earlier, right? This number vibrations, the numbers are alive, right? And they're all planetary energy.
Right.
The planets are playing. So, people often call me and they say, hey, Jesse, what's our number? Look at the house, this and that. And then, home numbers are off many times. But do I tell everybody to go sell their homes and move new places? No, I don't do that. So what I basically look at their date of birth and find the best numbers and then harmonize the energy using different numbers, right? Which are complementary to their energy. Because I know once those numbers are used on those addresses as patches, right? Because they're alive, they vibrate, right? They'll start to shift the energy, Something will shift.
Okay.
Something will shift. That's what happens. I'll give you one example, which I give all the time, is this number 1 and 8, right? These numbers, 1 and 8, Sun and Saturn, is in the Vedic tradition, they don't complement, they don't work together at all. It's like yin and yang, it's black and white, that kind of energy. So whenever, say, for example, a number 1 and 8 would come on your door, right? It'll bring in things like cuts, injuries, accidents, family quarrel, legal trouble, separation. Bring a whole bunch of stuff. It'll just, yeah. And very interesting. Just going back to, we haven't gotten to Russia yet, but this famous Oscar incident that happened recently, right?
Will Smith, yeah,
Will Smith. His energy. So what happened? If you look at those numbers on that particular day, right, the 27th of March, and Will Smith's energy entering the 9th cycle on his birthday last year, and then his wife's numbers too, a lot of 18, right? They all kind of combined, got together and overpowered this man. Who is not like that? He's not. He's moon and Mercury energy. He's logical. He'll use his head. He won't get up and do something like that. But see, what happened was
that was
Mars
very emotional.
Yeah, but no, he was overpowered by the energy of planet Mars, which is not his number. But I can tell you another thing. All the way up until his birthday, which is around September this year, this energy is going to keep lagging. It's like someone's pulling the carpet under his feet. If he kind of gets up, they'll pull it more, from the sky, right? So you're very, very cautious. So it's and then what happens is relationships. Like in his case, that entire energy was triggered from a number 18, which was his wife's date of birth, right? It came from there. So yeah, just spun out of control and took him there. So I mean, it's a whole combination, right? Your spouse, your partner, the time, the day, the cycle you are in, right? Many factors can come in and play. You read them carefully, and and then going for gemstones too. So, go ahead. Yes.
So say I have good numbers. Can I screw those good numbers up by the way I set my house up, by the way I partner myself with, by the way I make life decisions? So just because I have good numbers doesn't mean they're going to bring me good fortune if I'm doing wrong things, bad things.
Of course, karma, yeah. But you're absolutely true. What happens is, if you end up in wrong partnerships, right? So, say, for example, in your case, with a lot of Moon and Neptune energy, if you had a partner who had a lot of Venus energy, a lot of 6, so you had this, let's say, for example, a very beautiful lady sitting next to you, right, who had a lot of Venus energy, would never work with you, that'll just bow. You know why? Because Sun and Venus, they never get along. They create problems, right?
Would it be fun for a little while?
Of course, for a little while for sure, but for a little while only. Yeah. But for
okay.
And then, say, for example, if somebody came in with a 17 or an 8 date of birth, right, so born on the 26th of January, and he comes to be a partner, it's going to absolutely bounce off. It won't work at all like it's working now. Smooth. It's like now your numbers are like a duck's kind of floating in water. It's just so happy. That's how this partnership is, like a duck swimming in water. Very comfortable.
Okay.
Very happy. And we want it. But like I said earlier, how this happened, right? Is we'll give this to the higher forces, right? It's your guides, your angels, and the people who brought you together, right? They did it for you, but it's really good. It's really good.
Jesse, I want to. We need to get into the Russia thing in just a minute, but before we do, a couple quick questions, like kind of picking up on something that Britt said. If you are, let's say you're doing all the right things, you're immersing yourself in things that represent the right numbers, and it's affecting your life in a positive way. Can the introduction of one bad number ruin all of that, or is it kind of does it sum out? In other words, if you've got 10 good things, one bad thing, you're still going to have nine good things. How does it work?
Yeah, it's like a bump on the road, right? It depends how big the bump is, right? So it'll go like that. So what happens is, as far as Britt is concerned, he has a strong sun, right? And the sun will never stay behind the clouds, So for him, even if he has challenges in life, he'll overcome them. He'll bump here and there and just go right through them. It's a very, very strong sun energy, right? So that's how that is. But again, the element of water, is really important in both cases, right? And so anything close to water, more water in the house, that element of water in the house will always be very beneficial. And there's one more thing that's showing up here is cat's eye. Cat's eye is a crystal, right? It works on the root chakra,
right.
and it protects you from the mystery, right? So like you guys are talking about, ghost busting and things like that. So what happens is a cat's eye that works on the root chakra, it'll block any mysterious stuff around you, right? You know how it is? Any mystery that you cannot see which is, stranger than you thought would be blocked, right? So with these numbers, that would be a good crystal to have or wear.
All right, so another question before we get into this Russia stuff.
Okay.
How insignificant can the numbers be to affect you? In other words, you've talked about things like birth dates and home addresses or whatever. Let's say you get a piece of mail that has a zip code with a bunch of bad numbers in it for you. Is that going to affect you, or does it have to be more significant than that?
I think it has to be more significant than that. It has to be more significant than that.
Okay, I want to let's move on to Russia. You spent a great deal of time analyzing Vladimir Putin, Vladimir Zelensky, this whole situation that is so very, very tragic going on in Ukraine. One that we seem to be being pulled into a little more every day, which is a little concerning in itself. But what did you see, and when did you start looking at this? When the tanks started to roll, or did you do it before that?
No. This is after this tank started. I have a friend of mine in Los Angeles. And, he sent me an email in the morning. He said, "Hey, Jesse, look at Putin. I look at Putin's numbers, right?" So this is quite recent. It's not more than 7-10. I mean, the action had already started by then, And so he wanted me to look at Putin's numbers, and so that's how I did it. Now, see, if you look at Vladimir Putin was born on October the 7th, 1952, right? And see, I mean, he born under the sign of Libra. He has an influence on number 6, and 6 is Venus energy, and Venus is all the good things of life, which he really likes and enjoys. And then also he has a mild influence of planet Saturn. Saturn is a little restrictive in his case, and what Saturn does is it will affect the stomach area, stomach down those chakras and down to the feet. So that energy is kind of cold. That's kind of with him. Now, see, his compound energy has a lot of Neptune, right? So he is very intuitive. He is more on his intuition, on his gut feeling, than logic. He acts more like that, right? And if you look at his first name, Putin, that is his popular name again, has Venus energy in number 24, which is actually a very good number. Now, see, in this cycle, which started last year, October the 7th to October this year, he is he has his numbers. Number 7 is his number, and that cycle runs all the way till October the 7th. But then, soon after that, it'll change. When Saturn kicks in, cold and slow Saturn will completely slow him down, right? And what I see is Saturn energy, feet, stomach area, health challenges will come in and will become very difficult for him. And from that point on, after his birthday, that degree of difficulty is going to go up higher, higher, and higher. So it's going to be very, very hard for him. Then as far as, the president of Ukraine, right, January the 25th, 1978, he's got a lot of Sun and Mercury. Now, this gentleman, right, he's completely opposite. So one is left brain and one is right brain, right? They're completely different. And he now is in his number 9 cycle, 9 year. 9 year, 9 is not his number, just like Will Smith, right? Got into his 9 year last year, see what happened. So this gentleman again is 9 year. We started in January this year after his birthday, and that goes all the way till his birthday to 2023. So this Mars, like is action, is war, is conflict, and the rest of it, right? So Ukraine is going to be under this pressure all the way up until his birthday. But as of now, right, in this current cycle, which is the energy of Mars that's happening up until the 18th of April, right, these couple of weeks are very heavy because Mars is intensified, right? And with Mars intensified and Ukraine, which adds up to a number 22, so the energy of Ukraine, 22 and number 9 Mars, it's like biochemistry, it's like biological, it's like biological, that kind of, like suddenly something falls on your head, which is biological kind of thing, could be a device, could be something on those lines. And that is up until March the 18th. And after that energy will start dissipating, So that is how. So I think he should be very cautious in this time period up until the 18th. Russia as a country is a number 16, a 16 country, and 16 is much like the number of the White House. See, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, right? So 16 is 16 is a number of trickery and deception. 16 comes like that all the time, and
of course.
Yeah. It's the number of trickery, deception, and I've seen a lot of people live in homes that number 16 home, right? It'll you suddenly have bone disease, You suddenly feel that your neck's twisting, and I've seen many people cross over in the 16s that because that was not their number, right? But I've also known I did an interview recently with a gentleman in Colorado. He lived in the house number 16 for 40 years. He's an engineer and he does metaphysical work now. But his numerology was perfect for that number. And I was just amazed, and he was so happy and so good in what he did. But so that said, so now what happens is, you see, 22. Number 22 is the number of Ukraine, right? And number 22, when many intuitives you meet, they say, hey, it's a master number, you have it on your door, have it in this. It never works. And see, just like 2020, China, a number 6, a 15 country. 2020, the 4 and 6 came. What do we have? We had COVID that time, right? Now we have 2022. We have Ukraine at 22 and the year is 6. So whenever this 4 and 6 energy comes, right, it's just not good at all. It brings global disaster, right? So that's how this is all set up, I'll say more till the end of the year and maybe early 2023.
Have you taken a look at Joe Biden, the president of the United States' numbers?
Oh, yes, absolutely. It's in my book as well. Yeah, quickly I can tell you, Mr. Biden, he's born on January the 20th. Last year, he entered his 80th year. He was turned 79 on November the 20th, and he got into his 80th year. So now what happens is, you see, whenever we have moon energy, like a 2 on our date of birth, and you enter a 8-cycle Saturn, that's never good. It's never good, because what happens is moon and Saturn, they are extremely dangerous energies, and it's like you suddenly lose your power, or you lose your seat, or you suddenly fall sick, right? Or it's like something is suddenly taken off you, So President Biden, he's the president, we all respect for him. He's the president of our country, and I wish the best to him, but his planetary cycle right now is not good at all. And that is up until his birthday, which is November the 20th, right? This energy will intensify, I think, more after May. And he really needs to watch his health, be very cautious. Yeah, hold on. Very cautious.
Hold on. He's going to get worse after May? Is that what you just said? Worse than what we got now?
Yeah. His health, and it's going more into his health and his overall position, right? It's going to go slip down further. Yeah, it's not going to be good. Wow. It's on a slide. It's on a slide. Yeah, it's on a slide. And so President Biden's cycle in a Saturn period with the moon, this date of birth, is not good at all. I know there was one chief minister in the state of India recently. He's a king, he's the dynasty of the kings, right? Same cycle came towards the end and he lost his chair. He was gone just like that. So it's much that energy, so be very, very cautious, President Biden.
So by looking at the numbers, can you kind of tell the future? I mean, that's not like a crystal ball type thing, but do the numbers tell a story moving forward? Does Joe Biden make it the whole presidency? Does Putin win? Can you get an idea?
I can tell you, this period, right, as we after the middle of the year, right, the time is for Putin and President Biden both. Let me put it that way.
Say that again, Jesse.
So the timing is not good for either head of states, Russia and the United States, from a number perspective, for both of them.
And when the numbers aren't good for these individuals, whether it's Biden or Putin, does that mean that they're not good for the nations they lead as well? I mean, does it translate that way?
Of course it does. If the head of state is running a weak cycle, you're the king of the country, right? What's going to happen here? The subjects are going to suffer, and that's exactly what's happening right now.
Wow. Would you be willing to take a few birth dates from a couple of our folks in chat and give them an idea what their numbers are telling them? All right, so chat folks, if you want to put your month and day, not your year, month and day of birth in the chat, we'll ask Jesse to tell you what those numbers might mean.
And JV, while we wait for those to roll in, I do have a personal question of Jesse. I need a number that's going to be good for me, going to be successful for me. I just bought a 20 horsepower, 60 mile an hour lawnmower to race in the lawnmower races at the county fair, and I have to put a number on it. And after listening to you today, out of all your videos, and then tonight, I need a damn good number to put on this machine so I don't get dead. So now that you kind of know me, what number should I put? Here, I'll show you a picture of it right here.
Yeah, show you a picture. Okay. Oh, yeah, the color is good. The color is your color. Okay. Yes. Yellow, and you go 7. So we got 28th of May here. We got. I'll just use a number 7 on it.
Number 7.
Yeah, number 7.
All right. I'm going to go with number 7.
Okay, so
you just picked my motor number.
First of all, Britt, we'll talk about the lawnmower tractor races thing later because I've got a lot of questions for you about that. But we have a flurry of birthdays coming through here, so let's see what we can get to a few of these. Jesse, is a name important? Is a name important or not?
We don't have that much time now, but if you ever do a detailed reading, of course, it is needed then. So.
I'm sorry.
But now we'll just look at basic date of birth.
Okay.
Yeah, do a short reading, mini reading, yeah.
Okay, so, and these can be very quick. Lala, her birthday is November 30th.
Okay. So November 30th. And would she also give her the number outside her residence? If
the number outside of your residence, Lala. What is the number outside of your house? It'll take a second for her to respond because of the delay.
And thank you, Jesse, for giving me the number. I appreciate that. I'm totally gonna use it when people ask where I got the number from. I'm gonna say from Jesse. And tell them where to go to find your website.
629 is the number on her house. 629.
Okay, so 629 here, and so Lala's got. So November the 30th here we have Jupiter and Venus energy. So Jupiter is the number 3 and number 6. Those are her best numbers, and 6-2. So she has 6 on there. 2-7. Yeah. So this energy is pretty good actually. I mean, she's in a good place. She should wear a yellow sapphire. A yellow sapphire in a gold setting would be very good for her.
Okay, so let's see. The next one we have here is Rudy. Rudy's 1128, so that's pretty close to 1130. 1128, and the number on his house is 2070.
Okay, 1128 and 2070. So 2070. So now 2s and 7s do work for Rudy, but what happens is that 2070 on a home it will not help him. So what he needs to do is he needs to patch this home, and you can patch this home by using a number 1, which is sun energy, and that number 1 should come in the beginning, like a small yellow or a golden sticker, which is smaller than the existing numbers, is placed before the 2 in the beginning, so making 1207, and that would shift the energy and correct it. As of now, that vibration, is a little challenging. It might cause some health concerns or health challenges to him.
Okay, Rudy.
So that's his house.
There you go, Rudy. Scooter or Doug, birthday 216, and the house number is 931.
Okay, so 216. So we go interesting. So much, such intuitive people are kind of coming in today. It's very interesting. It's 216 is 216 has got moon and Mercury. So moon and Mercury is number 2s and number 5s. And what is the number, JV, again? What is that?
931. 931.
931. See, 931 is not working at all. See, you got Mars in the beginning. You got Mars in the beginning, Jupiter and Sun in the middle. So, see, a home like this can bring in some health challenges from the back door, and it can also affect, the monetary situation in this house. So, what he needs to do is use more moon energy, which is number 2 is his number, and you can use the 2 in the beginning. So, moon complements 9, which is Mars. So, 2931 would shift the vibe. And as a gemstone, Mercury, which is emerald, an emerald would be very good for him.
Okay, so let's see. We've got Jada. Jada is 1216, and her house number is 124.
Okay, 1216, and let's look at that one. Jada is 12. We got 1216. So December the 16th, I got Sun and Moon energy. Sun and Moon, 124. That number is good for her. Yeah, that's a good number. Yeah, good number.
Okay,
and that energy is working. So all those numbers 1, 2, 4 are complementing her date of birth, and she could wear a white pearl or something, something around her neck, which pearls or a ring in silver, but it has to be a white pearl though. That's more for the creative second shot.
Okay, I do have a question about the size of land you live on. Nikki, who lives in Alaska, she's on 40 acres. Now, her birthday is 128, and her route number is 3801. But does living on big natural property help?
Of course it helps. So she said 40 acres, and what is the date of birth, Britt?
128.
Her date of birth was? January the 28th. Okay, and 40 acres is pretty good actually. That the 40 is compatible with her energy. Absolutely, yes, really good. Okay, and then for numbers, I hear with her, she could also wear a cat's eye. A cat's eye as a bracelet or a pendant would be really good for her. That'll definitely strengthen her root chakra. And otherwise, she's very intuitive too. Okay. Very good, very intuitive.
I'm going to apologize ahead of time here. We've got dozens of folks that have thrown numbers up, and we're just not going to be able to get to them all. We're going to do one more with Jesse, and then I want to talk just a few minutes about his new book before we let him go. Let's see. Selena, birth date is 7/7, and house number is 7441.
Okay. So July the 7th again has got moon and very intuitive again. House number again was, JB, was?
7441.
7441. So now with 2 and 7, 7441. So you got Uranus in the middle, it's 2 times. Now, see, all these numbers are compatible, but when Uranus kind of comes together 2 times, I don't like it. So what she needs to do is break that energy of Uranus and putting a little 0 in the middle, make a 7-4 and a 0 and then a 4-1, right? To split those two. Otherwise, these numbers are compatible.
So when you're suggesting that, I mean, people are going to say, well, I can't change the address of my house. It is what it is. But you're suggesting just putting a little, like you said, a sticker or something just in there just to break it up,
exactly.
right?
The other word, a sticker, yeah. To shift the energy, shifting the vibe, shift the vibe, correct the vibe.
So obviously we didn't get to everybody, and I apologize. There's just a lot of people in chat, and everybody wanted to have the mini reading. But Jesse, if people wanted to get a full reading with you, how do they do that?
They can, come to my website, which is jessekalsi.com, and then from there they can, make an appointment with me, and I'll be more than happy to consult.
So you have a new book out. It's called All About Numbers: Attract Luck, Abundance, and Joy Based on Your Numbers. Tell us a little bit about the book.
So this is my second book, and this book it's more applied numerology. This has a lot of examples of how I have interacted with people, and I've tried to explain numbers and their effects, in a very practical way. I've tried to give a lot of examples so people understand. But then, JB, it's important for your audience to know that this is not a how-to book. Don't buy this book and say, "Oh, I'll know it all." No, you will not. There's a lot of information there. You'll definitely learn a lot, but it's not how to. But I've got good reviews on it by the grace of God. It's doing quite well, and I'm sure you'll enjoy the read. It's something which is different, another angle on numerology.
And where can people find it?
It's available on Amazon, or you can get it from my website, jessekalsi.com.
So the book, and it's out now, right? It's available currently.
Yes, it is. It is available currently, and it is available.
Just another follow-up question to all that, because some people may say, well, how do I know that, if I do a reading, it's actually going to help me? What types of things do you see your clients going through that when they come to you, this is going to be able to help you? This reading is going to be able to help clear some things up for you.
Yeah. See, what happens is, all of us human beings, we have our own challenges, right? And I feel that it's only those people who really need me or come to me. Others will not. They're just blocked out, right? They'll be in that doubt all the time. Oh, maybe why we waste our money, or this guy, what does he know? It's like that. So just the other day, I had this one lady in Texas, right? And she saw my website, and then she read a little bit of my book, and then she suddenly called me, right? And she told me her story. Her husband was a oil executive, right? And they lost his son, and he suddenly took off to India with all the wealth, and she's by herself, alone in a house. She can't. So we made these shifts, right? And she was very skeptical, but she kind of, I don't know what, she pushed herself to get this consult, right? And within a couple of weeks, she did feel the shift, She absolutely felt the shift. She was listing this land that she had, right? And so we worked on the price of the property, and I gave her this number. I said, put it there. She says, no, my realtor is saying put it right below. I said, no, we'll put it here. And then she called me yesterday, said they got to offer even higher than that. See, so I'm so glad that, she went high, and so that little money she spent with me was not wasted.
Well, I have found that the higher the numbers go in my bank account, the happier I am. If that makes any difference, there seems to be some correlation there. One final question, because I know you read Britt's numbers. You talked about Britt's energy. He's wearing a shirt with the number 72 on it. A, does that make any difference? And B, if it does, what is the difference?
Yeah, see, 7 and 2, this is again very interesting. So 7 and 2 are his numbers, okay? Both are his, these numbers are compatible. But, that combined energy of 7 and 2 and the color red, this has just been worn for temporarily, just for a little bit, right? You can manage it. But if you wear this number a little too long, then it will affect you. But just for a little bit, they are compatible. They won't bother you.
So this number, this number, my girlfriend's son is on the USS Lincoln, which is one of our biggest aircraft carriers, and this shirt is to commemorate the crew that's out at sea. They're over in the China Sea right now, dealing with China.
Yeah.
But so this is the number of a United States aircraft carrier. Does this number give that ship good luck or help get it in the right direction and do good things?
Absolutely. Excellent number for, it's Neptune is excellent number for war success, military success. Excellent number.
Neptune is also, and I don't know if this I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but Neptune is also the god of the sea in mythology. So there might even be a connection there. Jesse, this has been fascinating, and I really appreciate the work you're doing and appreciate you coming on and sharing all this with us. Please, one more time, give out your website, the name of your book, and where people can find it.
Okay, so my name of my website is jessekalsi.com. It's spelled JESSEKALSI.com. And the name of my book is All About Numbers. It is my second book, and it is available on Amazon, and you can also buy it through my website and everywhere else where books are sold. So do check it out. I'll be grateful.
Well, terrific. Thank you so much for your time. Please agree to come back at some point. We'd love to have you come back. We have more time.
Absolutely, JV. Absolutely, Britt. We will, God willing.
All right.
Oh, Jesse, it was a blast. It was a blast talking to you. I know so much more now. I feel a bit educated, and most of the time, YouTube doesn't give us education, but today it did.
Yes. So thank you, Jesse. Take care, and it's good to have you on the program. All right. So there you go. And once again, the website is his name. You saw it up there for a while, but it's Jesse Kalsi, KALSI.com. And you can also find the book All About Numbers on his website. So check that out. Britt, the numbers thing always not baffles me because I've heard enough people talk about it that I kind of understand how it works. But the fact that it does work is what kind of astounds me. There are connections.
That's what blows my mind.
That you can see in your life.
Yeah, I like literally when I went down the rabbit hole of Jesse, he has a YouTube channel with a bunch of videos on there. And I went down that rabbit hole. I mean, I get I know the general idea of what it's about, but I didn't know in detail. So I went down that rabbit hole and I was like, and he would start to talk numbers about somebody. And in the beginning, I was like, oh my God, but by the end of the video, it all made sense. Like he nails Trump with just numbers. And it's just amazing how that works. And I still don't understand why it works. That's why I was asking about where does the energy come? Where does that energy come from that drives us to do what we do based off of our date of birth, the alignment of the planets, the color where does that energy come that drives us? Because it does lay out color. My daughter would be laughing right now because she does the same thing to me all day long. Every time I say collar.
Where'd that come from? Collar. This is a collar.
I don't know. Sometimes she'll be with her. Yeah, she'll be with her group of friends. We'll be hanging, whatever, doing, and she'll go, "Dad, say caller," in front of her friends. My fucking daughter. My daughter.
I'm gonna have to.
Man, that's my first cuss word.
I'm going to have to reach out to your daughter because there are far funnier words that you try to say than that one that I've encountered over the course of the 3 or 4 years we've been doing these programs.
But I do have to say, I'm really happy that this is a good number for that ship.
Yeah.
For those Navy sailors and pilots that are on that ship over in the China dealing with that.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign. But man, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. And I'm not angry, and I'm happy, and I'm laughing. It's so much better than the other show.
Oh, don't say those things.
For my head.
Yeah, just don't say them.
For my head.
Yeah.
It just is.
It's good to see so many familiar names and friends, people that I used to have an opportunity to chat with every night, well, at least 4 nights a week. And some of you came over and joined us on the political discussion. Many of you chose not to, and I get that. And that's fine. But we're back here now. Tomorrow night, we're going to have our good friend John Russell on. John is a jack of all trades. Oh, my God, really? Yeah, jack of all trades when it comes to paranormal discussions. He is so excited to come back, and we're so excited to have him. He's one of my favorite guests. I think he said it'll be his 7th appearance on one of the shows that I've hosted. So, and he's actually doing his 6th appearance with George Norrie coming up, too. So I'm going to see if he'll say... Tomorrow night we can ask him, when you're on with George Norrie, will you tell people to come watch our show?
I'm pretty sure that'd be frowned upon.
Yeah,
but,
I think it'd be his last appearance on George Norrie if he did that, sadly.
Is George Norrie videoed out, or is it just audio?
It's just audio. I don't even think I know he has a YouTube channel, but I don't think there's video with it. I might be wrong about that. It might be wrong. Fitty,
let's say we send him a T-shirt.
Fitty, you always have the questions. Last night I said on the Independence Gang that we were going to scale back production. We're not taking a break. We're reducing the number of programs. It's not a complete break. We will still be doing Independence Gang shows along the way. But we've been contacted, as I mentioned last night, by a major outlet. I don't know how to describe it. Major outlet that wants
new media
has us in a development deal, and that's what we're doing. We're trying to develop something here. So we're going to give this some attention and time.
Wait a second. Is it the Fitty that was? Is it Fitty the one that was busting your balls about not doing BRE?
That's what I'm saying. He's always
Fitty.
He's always just not quite happy enough.
God, Fitty.
Oh man.
So you know when we went over to the other show and BRR kind of slowed down. That's what's going to happen. So just prepare for that. Get used to that. But we're going to be here, and then sometimes we'll be there. But most of the time we're going to be here. Because I'm sorry, but I'm having a lot more fun right now. I'm not angry, and I don't want to kill things.
Okay, yeah.
I am excited.
Okay, I love your enthusiasm. That is great to see.
And I didn't yawn.
Not yet, and that's really impressive too. That's really impressive.
So
I just don't want you to take too many steps backwards because you're going to end up in a valley somewhere. I don't know where the hell your picture is.
Oh, I might. This is my new office. Yeah. My new office. I'm out in the wilderness.
Oh man.
Yeah. What?
Nothing. So tomorrow night we're going to talk. Really? We're going to talk with John Russell. We've got other guests lined up. At this point, you can expect this program to be on Tuesday and Wednesday nights. Fitty, I don't disagree with you. Politics are frustrating. This is carefree in a way. The political discussions are stressful because they're so very consequential.
They're important.
They're so very consequential, which is why Britt and I decided to do that in the beginning. That's why we decided we needed to talk about it, because we felt like there needed to be more conversation about what was happening. So that's why we did that. But there are also realities, and we got this development offer, and we decided to go with this. So that's where we are for now.
I would like to not have to swing a hammer all day long and then rush home and do a radio show. I would love to be able to prepare for a show during the day and then be as professional as the guy to my my right? No, is it my right? Are you on my right? No, you're on my left. Yeah.
Hold your hand up.
Be as professional as
the one that looks like an L is your left.
Everything's backwards.
Oh man, it is.
Anyway,
backwards.
I don't know. I just my passion is politics, but I need you. Fun, yeah, and I like this, and I want to have fun.
Yeah. So anyway, we're looking forward to some of these live investigations that we're going to be doing, and some other we're going to do just kind of I guess what would be considered non-traditional types of broadcasts as it relates to the paranormal and conspiracy and true crime and all these other things that we've been talking about. Can I tell you something? Hey, since this COVID thing, I constantly think I smell coffee.
No, you're not supposed to smell anything.
I know, and I can't, other than it seems like I'm constantly smelling coffee.
Oh my God. You got the new variant. Put your mask on. Don't leave the house.
The Juan Valdez variant.
The Juan Valdez, exactly. Do we have a viewer email yet for
no, we don't.
Paranormal IRL?
I have not set that up yet. No, not yet. Not yet.
Well, okay.
But
I don't know. It would be nice if people could help us in the in chat and in the audience. And, if you know of anybody if you know of anybody that hosts like Bigfoot investigations, or if you know anybody that does that hosts UFO investigations, please just send me links on my social media. Send me links, send me contacts, whatever. I just want to get a feel and try and figure out, if there's a cool place that JV and I could venture off to one weekend and, do some investigating in the dark or in the light or wherever the creepy stuff and the cool stuff is. Also, do we have a website yet? Is that still coming?
There is a website, but it is not. It is basically a work in progress. I wouldn't tell anybody to go there right now, but it is there.
All right. Well, we have T-shirts coming. I've made a couple up already, so we'll have some T-shirts, and they're pretty cool, we think. And what else are we going to do, JV? We're going to do T-shirts. We're going to do events. We're going to do investigations. We're going to... I don't know. Do you really think, JV, that people will watch us for 3-4 hours overnight looking for spooky...
Well, I don't know that people will watch for the full 3 hours, but I think people will come and go. Some people watch it in the beginning and some people watch at the end. I think there will be an audience the whole time. And some will watch the whole thing. We expect it to be interesting or we wouldn't be doing it. And it's going to be a new approach to it.
I just don't want to bore our audience.
Like you said, a lot of it is going to be chat room directed. We're going to be taking instructions, ideas, hints from the chat room as we do all of this stuff. And that'll make it fun too. So.
All right. Well, as long as you think that we're not going to bore our audience, I'm trying to get our chatters to say, no, do it. But no one's playing with me.
Well, we're getting a lot of, if you guys come to this area, let me know. We'd like to go tag along. There's a lot of that going on. So I think that in itself says that it's interesting enough to folks. And I think it is. And Fiddy says we need a flat earth discussion so we can finally end the debate. I will get one of our flat earth guests. The problem with that, Fiddy, is the flat earth guest will be a proponent of that idea, that theory. There are very few people that come on to say it's not true. The people that want to come on are the ones that say it is true. So that'll be...
You don't think we could find a reformed flat earther?
I'm sure there's some. I'm sure we could. But the interesting people are the ones that argue for it. Those are the ones I like to listen to.
Yeah,
because they have really interesting ideas and observations. I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, so just reading chat. Okay, so I guess that's it for tonight. Tomorrow night we'll have John Russell, and we'll look forward to that conversation. I hope everybody had a great time. So good to see everybody back in the chat room and able to talk. We'll do trivia eventually too. We're not going to do it tonight. But sorry about the rocky start. I don't know how it's going to work with notifications because the notifications, I don't think we could, the way this works, because it starts its own stream when I hit the go live thing, there isn't time for notifications. So don't rely on notifications. Just know we're going to be on Tuesday and Wednesday nights at this point at 10 p.m. Eastern. That's the plan. Okay.
That's the plan.
Oh, you're still independent. I thought you changed it. I thought you changed from Independence Gang.
No. Well, remember when we got nuked and I had to set my channel up for the Independence Gang? Yeah. Well, I never undid all that.
Oh,
so when
gotcha.
Yeah, so I got to go through and change all that crap.
Yeah. Okay.
Change all that crap.
All right. Good. All right. Thanks for being here, everybody.
That was interesting.
Yeah, thanks for being here, everybody. We appreciate your time. And again, we'll be back tomorrow night with John Russell right here on, what's the name of the show?
Paranormal Russell.
Paranormal IRL.
Hot.